Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to a beautiful beach in Southern California with Catalina Island back there in the background. It is an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful morning this Friday morning, and I hope you're having your cup of coffee this morning because I got the morning briefing. I've got a lot of information: bluefin tuna, white sea bass, yellowtail, all of that. But I've got to mention to you that last night's sunset was absolutely priceless. So if you're a surf fisherman and you want to get out and hit the surf, I didn't catch anything last night, and I still felt like it was worth it because I got my vitamin vitamin C, and I also got to meet some lovely people. But that sunset last night was absolutely priceless. So more than likely I'll be out here again at sunset throwing a chrome jig and trying to catch a yellowfin croaker or a halibut or something like that. All right, we'll get into all the fishing in a moment, but I've got a big announcement, and that is that on May the 15th, that is a Sunday, from 8 in the morning until 11. And I'll have more details, but I want you to put this on your calendar right now. We'll be working with Jeff Yoemans at 540 Slingers Club. Those are the guys that throw the iron with the long rods. And also Sam de la Torre from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. And we'll all be meeting up at Long Beach Marine Stadium to do a jig fishing seminar. And more than that, we're going to be able to throw your jigs, teach you how to cast, go through it with you. We'll have a casting for distance contest. We're going to have a raffle, and the raffle will be absolutely free, and there'll be a great prize for you. And this big gathering is one that we are all looking forward to. You bring your jigs down there, and we'll see how they swim. We'll see what the proper method is in terms of speed, how that jig swims the best. We'll have experts there to coach you through it. We'll have rods and reels for you if you don't have your own. We'll also have some Daiwa rods and reels down there so you can take a look at them and decide what fits you best. And if you just want to come down and have a cup of coffee, I'm all about that too. That'll be a lot of fun. That's going to be Sunday, May 15th at Long Beach Marine Stadium, very close to the Lifeguard Museum. And we are really looking forward to that day. That is going to be a lot of fun. More details as we move along, but mark it on your calendars, please. All right, the big news right now, as you well know, and the boats in San Diego are mostly sold out, but that bluefin tuna is nibbling really, really good. Mostly a night bite, mostly 25 to 40 pound fish. Gorgeous grade of fish. Can't beat that. Gets them up over 100 pounds occasionally. A good smattering of yellowtail in there with it. Knife jigs at night have been best on the bluefin tuna or a similar type of lure. That's not the end of it, but that bite, man, I mean, we are so blessed right now with this great fishing out of San Diego. Most of this is going on there around Ensenada, but there's some stuff right up there next to Point Loma. When I say that, I mean 10, 12, 15 miles. There's fish bouncing around there. And as I've said, you know, who knows? Tannerbank could be loaded up. So guys that are going to finally get out there and give that a look, and we'll find out, I think, that there is bluefin tuna scattered just about everywhere. It's another magnificent season. We've mentioned that the Mexican seiner fleet have hit their quota, so that is not going to be a problem right now. They are not going to put any more pressure on this fishery, so that sounds really, really great. And we are looking down the barrel of another magnificent season for bluefin tuna. And we will be making our albacore prediction, our official albacore prediction, next week. Now, a lot of guys say, oh, every year you say that there's going to be, I wouldn't say there's going to be albacore in a warm water year. And hell, I've been in China for 3 years. So this is the second year. Last year we said there was going to be albacore, and there was one on the new low end. So we were wrong. We get that. Sometimes that water will go warm after you make the prediction. If it stays cool, we are in the ballpark. Just take a listen to what Bobby Taft had to say on the Top Gun 80 the other day.
I believe they probably will. I mean, they go in cycles. You know, it's been what, 10, 12 years since we had any.
Yeah.
So then we go, when we start getting them, we usually go 8, 10 years with albacore. And it usually starts in June. Yeah. Is when we start to see the fish here. If we're going to get fish by the end of June, we should know one way or another if we're going to get fish.
All right, thanks, Bobby. Good stuff. I'm hoping for albacore, bluefin, and I'm also hoping for an excellent white sea bass season, and we've got a little taste of that here recently up there out of Ventura Sport Fishing on board the Endeavor. What a nice little bite they had with 7 sea bass and had some big halibut to go along with it. And of course, copious amounts of bottom fish, nice big reds and other bottom grabbers. That bite up there out of Ventura has been absolutely magnificent, and it just seems to continue and continue. So yesterday, I'm down at Island Fishing Tackle, visiting with all the fun guys down there. You know, of course, Sam and Eric and John, all those guys I was having a great time with, when I was eavesdropping and listening. D. Hayes was in the house, a gentleman by the name of Darryl Hayes, and I heard him talking about the great time he had and this big sea bass he caught. And I said, hey, excuse me, Darryl, I was eavesdropping. You mind sharing a little bit of that with me? And so Darryl was kind enough to tell us about this recent great trip he had on board the Endeavor with Tucker McCombs. Darryl, what a pleasure to see you here at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. My friend, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Oh, well, I heard you talking, and I had to grab you because I heard you were on the Endeavor, and they had a go-around with the halibut and the white sea bass. You got the only sea bass, or?
I got only one of 7.
That's pretty darn good. Tell us about that, Dan. Tell us how you like the Endeavor.
It was a great boat. I always love fishing with Tucker and the whole crew. It's a dynamic crew.
Yeah.
They take care of you from beginning to end. So I went out, we boarded Friday night, we fished Saturday, we went over to San Miguel, and Tucker found the squid. Once we had the squid, he put us on the fish. And of course, we had a great time. Sea bass, halibut, and the reds, phenomenal.
Really?
Big reds.
Oh my God, how can you beat that? I mean, you went home with a lot of fish, didn't you?
Believe me, the hardest part was loading my ice chest into my truck, because even before I put ice on it, very heavy.
That is amazing. So people are listening, they want to go up there on the Endeavor. What's the hot tip in terms of tackle? Were you fishing a dropper loop, or what were you doing?
Yeah, I was using a dropper loop primarily. I did also have a sliding sinker set up. So I took 6 rods and I had 6 different setups, according also using the fluorocarbon when we were in the shallows.
Oh, okay, that's important. And did you catch those fish in the shallows or in the deep water?
Well,
or
the
both?
sea bass was pretty much in the shallows.
Yeah. All right, cool. And the greater fish, how big were they?
I'd say my fish was about 30 pounds.
That's awesome. You must have felt very fortunate.
Oh, very fortunate.
And the halibut, how about that? What size were those?
I'd say the biggest halibut may have been about 40 pounds.
Oh my God, I saw the photos. They looked that big, man. You guys must have been so stoked, but at the same time, not really surprised, because Tucker seems to do this over and over and over again.
Every time I've been on a boat with Tucker, the last time I was on a boat with Tucker, I haven't seen lingcod that size since I fished in Alaska.
Really?
And that kind of gives you an idea of the grade of fish that we hooked, and everybody got limits. Limits of lingcod for everybody on the boat.
Oh my God, that is great fishing. Do you prefer fishing with Tucker to almost anybody else?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I could have went out on a different landing, but I waited until Tucker, I'd already paid for one trip. It was just an overnighter. Trip got canceled because of weather. So whenever the opportunity came up, let me know. They let me know. I drove all the way up and had a phenomenal trip.
All right, excellent. And have you done any local fishing up there? You know, the California is there now, and you mentioned that you used to fish on that when it was the Matt Walsh.
Right, but I took my grandson up to fish on Cody's boat.
Island Spirit.
Island Spirit. And he loved it. As a matter of fact, I put him on a boat twice, and he went home with limits. And one trip, he had sheep's head and lingcod when Granddaddy didn't get one.
And you were okay with that,
oh, yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
You should have seen the smile on that little kid's face as he's telling his mom and showing her the fish that he caught.
Shoot, I mean, I was going to mention it, but you've already covered it. Local boats, perfect way to introduce kids and family members who've never gone fishing before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'll do it again. As a matter of fact, I have a grandson that's just stepping up to the level where he can come to the rail and fish.
Yeah.
And the grandson that I also took on the previous trips, we're going back.
Excellent. Well, only one thing could make me happier than this interview. And you know what that would be?
What's that, sir?
To go fishing with you on the Endeavor someday. I hope we can do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That would be a pleasure.
Are you kidding?
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Darryl. You are number one. D. Hayes in the house, doing such great stuff with your kids and grandkids. I mean, getting them into this sport that you love so much is truly one of the best gifts you could give them. I don't have to tell you that. All right, looking up and down the coast right now, this solar warming is just awesome. It's been so warm. That is not going to stay, the solar warming part of this, for much longer. In fact, tomorrow we'll go back to air temperatures in high 60s along the coast, still a little warm inland, and that's still just perfect for the springtime. And no wind until Tuesday. You're going to have to watch the wind from Orange County northward. We're supposed to get a little bit of a blow. For you San Diego bluefin, tuna, Ensenada nuts, well, you don't have to worry too much about it. You're going to get a little wind down that way, but not enough to shut that bite down and not enough to deter guys from heading down south. And again, these are forecasts, so remember, that all changes. That's what the morning briefing is here for. If there's any changes, I will definitely be letting you know about it. Up and down the coast, still good rockfish, a little bit of sand bass and halibut. Private boaters have been doing some pretty good sand bass fishing here off of Long Beach, San Pedro area. Not wide open. It's certainly not migratory fish. They're spot fish. They are on structure, but there's been some decent catching going on. And along the beaches here, there has been some halibut taken, some yellowfin croaker, still a little bit of perch around. Bar perch prefer that cooler water, but there's a little bit of that around. And I see a lot of feed here this morning. There's sand crabs, there's those bean clams, there's all kinds of bird life offshore, which indicates that there's bait fish around. And when there's bait fish, there's going to be predators. So that's all very, very good. And again, just getting out on a day like this, sundown, wherever you are. I don't care if you're up there on the Topaz Rock Jetty, if you're north of there, if you're down there in the San Diego area. This is going to be a gorgeous evening to go out and give it a try in the surf. I highly recommend you do that. So Catalina, Clemente, Santa Barbara, Nick, mostly rockfish, but look for a few more white sea bass up there in those neck of the woods. I think that's a real possibility. And yellowtail, you know, the guys on the Pride have already had a good shot of that here this year. A good, not a big catch, but seen fish. Good early indication that there's fish around. We go back to that squid that was, the epicenter of it was there in the Channel Islands as opposed to further north like it was last year in Monterey. That biomass of squid moved down the coast, and with it, all those predators. That's why Tucker got in on that bite the other day. That's why I am so high on that Channel Island bite here anytime now. That could go off hopefully April 27th when we have a charter with Tucker on board the Endeavor. And thank you all who signed up and sold that out in a matter of days. That went. We still have a few spots open on our July 5th Pride trip, 2 days, 14 anglers. The possibilities are endless. And all you got to do is send me a text at 657-227-6459. I'll send you our list, or just go to Friedman Adventures on Facebook and scroll on down and you'll see our list of available trips for the rest of the year. Bill down there on the Malahini, Bill Wilkerson, is going to be focusing on tuna here very, very soon, I think, and yellowtail. So he'll have some great open party trips for you out of H&M Landing. And don't forget, we have 3 charters with Bill. You can go to their website, malahinisportfishing.com, and you can book directly with them. Those were just great trips. You know, if you go to playlists when you're on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, you can look and you'll find videos of all of our great trips. I highly recommend you do it. You'll get an idea of what goes on our trips. We're there to help you. I'm there to videotape. We're there to make sure your experience is great, and we charter with the best in the business so that your experience and your sport fishing dollar is well spent and you have a really great time. Another gentleman, I met so many great people. I met Brian last night. Brian came by and I had met him surf fishing down here, and I'm saying, hey, anybody in here know anything about downloading this and uploading? And Brian's like, I'm your man. And he was so gracious to come over and help me. That was great. But Lloyd came up to me and he said, excuse me, I met you at a fundraising event 40 years ago. And it was so nice of him to do that. But he also said, I see what you're doing in Baja California. I see all the clothing and the food and the funds that you send down to people who truly need help. And Lloyd said, I just want to thank you for doing that. So this is my opportunity to thank Lloyd for coming by, but more importantly, to thank you for every time I say, hey, we're heading down, can you contribute some clothing? It really means a lot to us. All of you who bring clothing, contribute funds, it all goes down to people who really need your help, because in Mexico the safety net is not the same as it is here in the good old US of A, and the generosity of Americans reaching out over the border and helping is truly something great. Big Fish Bait and Tackle contributed funds. They're always there when we're doing stuff like that, and so why don't you go by there and thank them this afternoon before you hit this beautiful beach, wherever it is, and enjoy an absolutely gorgeous sunset. I'm positive you're going to see that. All right, we'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on May 15th. You're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be so much fun. We're going to have instruction on how to throw the iron. We're going to watch and see how your jig swims and how you can improve your game. And we'll have all the experts there to do it. And whether you're a pro, you're going to want to win the casting contest, or somebody says, fishing with the iron, I'm not really good at that, and I can't really just forget all that. Nobody there is going to put you down for that. We are there to help. We are there to make your game better. We're there to show you that you can do this and that you can improve your fishing game, and you can do it before the season really kicks into gear. That'll be on Sunday, May the 15th, 8 in the morning until 11. All right, everybody, I'll leave you with some of the stuff that we've been doing in Baja California in your name. I thank you again for joining us for the morning briefing. Remember, a little bit of wind popping up here, Orange County area, up north on Tuesday. That's the forecast for now. That could change. You have all my thanks. You know what I'm going to do? Go grab a surf rod and hit that beautiful beach for an hour or so. Take care. Have a great day. And thanks for your great support for Friedman
Adventures recently traveled to Las Palmas near Cabo San Lucas, where the Mexican government had built this really nice skate park. Trouble was that most of the kids in the surrounding areas couldn't afford skateboards. So with the help of fishermen and outdoorsmen in the United States, some great people in Cabo San Lucas, and of course Friedman Adventures, we were able to change this into this.